Today, I'm gonna make 3 of my favorite holiday side dishes that are not meat focused. What? What'd you say? Yes, you heard it right. They are not meat focused. So I want to thank Instacart for sponsoring this video. I am responsible for buying all of the groceries for my family, and I forget things all the time. It's gotten so bad that every time my wife cooks, she thinks I'm sabotaging her recipes. You don't really think I'm sabotaging your recipes, do you? Oh, you do. Okay. It's just when you get in the grocery store, you know how it gets. Did you forget something at the grocery store? They got you covered. Instacart is this year's holiday rescue app. It's very simple. You go to the app, you add the groceries that you forgot. Your Instacart shopper then brings you the groceries to your doorstep. Get free delivery for your first 3 orders as fast as 1 hour. It's gonna take you longer than that to get in your car and go to the grocery store. So use Instacart, go check them out. On this channel, we've done mainly meat recipes and techniques. Well, I have some other things I wanna share. So especially in this holiday season, I wanna share with you 3 of my favorite side dishes that we make for the holidays for my family. Come with me, let's go check them out. Here we go. Our first recipe today are Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts, but they need a little bit of help. They're little tiny cabbages. They need some flavor added to the party. So what we're gonna do today is a very simple Brussels sprout preparation that's gonna leave every person you make this for go like, why does that taste so good? You keep the secret, you don't tell anybody. Here we go. You're gonna take your Brussels sprouts. You're gonna slice them in half. We're gonna put them in a 350-degree oven for about 30 minutes until they are softened. And then while that's cooking, you're gonna crisp up your prosciutto. So we have prosciutto here. I'm gonna slice it into little lardons, and then we're going to put it in a pan and with a little bit of olive oil and start to render out the fat. Once that is crispy, you're gonna remove the prosciutto from the pan and save for later. In that pan, you're then gonna add some beef tallow. Yes, beef tallow is beef fat. If you don't know how to make beef tallow, I have you covered. I have a whole video on how to make beef tallow, and I'm gonna post it in the link in the description. But here it is, beef tallow. So our beef tallow in with the prosciutto fat, right? And that's what we're gonna do to coat our Brussels sprouts when they come out of the oven. Just a little bit of beef fat will do you as far as getting that flavor going. We're then gonna put it all together. I'm gonna add shaved Parmesan and a balsamic glaze. It's gonna be delicious. This is how you make these beautiful prosciutto Brussels sprouts. Again, don't tell everybody that the secret ingredient is beef tallow. For our next recipe, we are gonna talk about mashed potatoes. These are not just ordinary mashed potatoes. These are the best mashed potatoes that you'll ever have in your life. I am calling them the best mashed potatoes in the world. Now, it's a funny story how we got here with this recipe. It's very, very simple. There's very few ingredients, but I read an article from Tyler Florence, from the Food Network, and I've never seen this recipe actually printed, but he had mentioned in an interview just off the cuff that he makes his mashed potatoes for the holidays, and instead of cooking the potatoes in water, he cooks them in heavy cream and half and half. Now, what this does is as the potato cooks, the water naturally in the potato is released and sucked back up is the cream and butter and half. It's diabolical. It is amazing. I never heard that before that, and I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna show you how to do it today. We're gonna take our potatoes, we're going to peel them, we're gonna dice them into equal size pieces. You're gonna put them in a pot, but instead of using water, you're going to use half and heavy cream. We're gonna go just above the potatoes, along with the heavy cream and half, you're gonna put a couple crushed cloves of garlic, which we will remove when we're mashing them. So you're gonna cook it just the way you normally would. You're going to bring it to a boil, reduce to a simmer until the potatoes are fully cooked. And then you're gonna strain out the potatoes, saving the liquid. So we're gonna take a big bowl, you're gonna take a colander, set it right on top. And then we're gonna add our potatoes. So now we have all the potatoes and we have the liquid underneath, which is all of our potato-infused heavy cream. Delicious. Now Now again, this liquid is now a potato-infused heavy cream. Are there any more words that make you salivate more than potato-infused heavy cream? I don't think so. You're then gonna add back in your potato-infused heavy cream until it gets to the consistency you like. We have a lot of it out here, so let's make these creamy. You can add some butter, salt, pepper. This is where we flavor it. You're gonna continue to season it until it is done. Keep tasting. You're gonna taste it and taste it and taste it until it is just perfect. Then you're gonna put it in a bowl and serve to all your guests who are gonna be like, those are the best mashed potatoes in the world. And you know why they're gonna say that? Because they are. This recipe alone is worth the price of your time. It is amazing. You should do it for every holiday from now until the end of time. You're welcome. Next, we're talking cranberries. Now, I have never been a fan of the in the can, the shape of the can cranberry sauce that gets thrown out onto the normal holiday table. So for me, I like a cranberry relish. Now, I got this recipe when I worked at the Manchonterelle Creek in Dallas. It's a little bit different than that recipe, but I've kind of taken it and I really enjoyed the cranberry relish kind of texture of the cranberries. So it does require a little bit of extra gear, which we'll talk about, but we are going to use a mixer and the grinder attachment. As you've seen in other videos, I have a big meat grinder. I use this meat grinder attachment just for fruits and vegetables. So I'll use it for salsa, I'll use it for cranberry sauce. So that's the only time I will use this attachment. It just separates what I'm gonna grind meat with and what I'm gonna grind fruits and vegetables with. So again, it's my personal preference, but again, if you wanna do this recipe, go get you a meat grinder attachment and they work great for fruit and vegetable preparations. So here's how we're gonna run this. We are gonna take cranberries. We're gonna grind them in here. I'm gonna show you how to do it. We're gonna grind the cranberries, we're gonna grind mint, we're gonna grind oranges, and then we're gonna take it, make it sweet with maple syrup. Cranberries are really sour. You need that sweet component to really balance out all the flavors. It's a very simple recipe and it is delicious. It's gonna give you that sweet and sour thing that you want on your holiday table when you're eating some cranberries for your turkey, all this stuff. It is delicious. All right, so now we're gonna make our cranberry relish. I have the attachment on here. My biggest tip for grinding, when you're grinding cranberries, tomatoes for salsa, all that stuff, is you're gonna take a piece of plastic wrap like this, okay? And you're gonna put it right over the die here. A lot of times with these, with cranberries especially, tomatoes, they're juicy, so it shoots out this way, shoots. We don't want it to shoot out, we want it to go into the bowl. So we're gonna do this little plastic wrap trick, and then it's gonna fall right into the bowl. Man, worth the price of admission today. All right, so here we go. We're gonna do our cranberries, oranges, mint, everything goes through here, and then we're gonna taste it and go back through. So I'm gonna turn down the volume because it's gonna get a little loud, but here we go. Before I put the oranges through the grinder to kind of clean it out because it's really juicy and it'll wash out all that stuff in there, I will zest 2 of them and put them in the cranberry sauce. On something like this, you don't want to waste the zest, okay? We're going to use the juice from inside, but you don't want to waste the outside. That's got great flavor in it too. So we're going to just quick zest 2 oranges and then put those oranges through the grinder. So next, we're just gonna pass our oranges through the grinder. And putting the oranges through the grinder, it just basically cleans everything out. Anything stuck in there, because it's super juicy, super liquidy, it's gonna go through that grinder and clean up all that stuff. It's gonna help us with clean up, and it's also going to get all the stuff, all the cranberry bits and everything out of there. So we are good to go. I'm just gonna add maple syrup. Now, you'll be surprised at the amount of maple syrup that you need to add to this because it is rather sour. So the secret to this is just keep tasting it. Keep tasting it. So we need a little more. Try that. Until you reach that desired sweetness that you want. There we go. Cranberry relish. delicious. Mint, orange, cranberries, a little sweetness, it's awesome. So that's how you make the cranberry relish that I make every year for my holiday table. All right, here we go. So we went through all three of these non-meat based recipes, which is a new thing for me on this channel, but I do cook things that are not meat sometimes. But here are my favorite three holiday side dishes. So let's give them a taste. First thing, mashed potatoes cooked in heavy cream and half and half. Are you kidding me? Do we even need to taste it? I'm sure it's delicious. It's the best mashed potatoes you ever had in your life, okay? If you don't have these for every holiday dinner, I'll be disappointed in you, and I don't know what to say. But these are it. You need to do this right now. We got Brussels sprouts with beef tallow, and we got prosciutto, and we have Parmesan and balsamic glaze. Oh my goodness. I don't know what you want. It has all the flavors. It has sweet, it has salty, it has everything. It's delicious. A little cranberry sauce. Very balanced. You want to make sure it's not too sour, so it's going to take more maple syrup than you think. That's my biggest tip. It's going to take more than you think to sweeten those cranberries up. But here we go, guys. This is it. Happy holidays. Check out this next video in which I'm going to show you the 5 tips that are going to make your holiday dinner so much easier